Kyle, New Hampshire, big weekend, kicks off the race to the chase.
Yeah, it's a big weekend when we come back here, so this is a good test to try to get ready for what will happen then and maybe how you can make your car better. But the racetrack's always different now than what it is then, so you can only learn so much. But overall, you know, this has been a tough track for myself here in the past, but last year we did fairly well here, and Denny's always run well here, so hopefully we can get some good results like we had last year again this year. Maybe even have a shot to go for a win here and try to knock one out before we get back here.
Questions for Kyle? Chuck, and then Dustin. Chuck, and then Dustin.
Oh, I'm sorry. Chuck Howard, NASCAR Media Group. Kyle, looking ahead to next week, does your approach change between the 500 and the 400 with it being a shorter race? Is it more just hammer down and not as much strategy? Is that fair to say?
No, not really. You know, your strategy doesn't change a whole lot. 40 laps, I think, is the distance change. It's not a lot. It's just one pit stop, so you have a little bit shorter time there. But the other thing that you deal with is just the track conditions being the way they are, and the summertime being so hot, so slick. It tends to have the races kind of run a little bit more strung out than typical in February. So, you know, this is the last race on that surface of the racetrack in Daytona. So, you know, that'll kind of, I'll miss it. You know, hopefully some of the other drivers will too. But, you know, we've got to make the racing surface right so we don't have another problem like we did in the 500. But looking forward to it next week, and hopefully trying to be able to win one final one before they repave it and turn it into Talladega.
Dustin.
Dustin Long, Landmark Newspapers. I've got two questions. First one is, so far, 7 different winners in the first 16 races this season in Cup. Last 4 years it's been 10 or 9 guys. So I didn't know if you saw anything to why there might be just a little bit fewer number of winners this time around. Is the spoiler that much of a game changer, or is it just circumstance?
I think it's just purely circumstance. I don't think there's really a lot to it. You know, unfortunately, there haven't been more winners, but you know, I wish my name was up there a little bit more often than what it is. So, you know, we've had some good learning experiences going from the wing to the spoiler, and we've got hopefully some more still to go, and that'll always change the action, anyways. You know, some guys might pick up on something and be really, really fast, and you're chasing them, you know. So we just have to play it out and, you know, keep trying to race.
I also wanted to ask you, is this weekend's the 20th anniversary of the release of Days of Thunder. So I wanted to ask you, I know you've done stuff with 51 and had Rowdy on your truck. What kind of impact, or what does that movie mean to you looking back? And because I think you were like 4 or 5 when it first came out.
Yeah, I was pretty young when it first came out, and probably don't remember watching it the first few times, but you know, remember going through summers of when I was you know, 8, 9, 10 years old, whatever it was, working in a shop playing the movie on the VHF player. You know, not many of those around anymore. So you know, it was a great movie. I mean, I still love it. You know, of course. With the 51 tied in, you know, it's still on my late models and stuff. Probably my new favorite number. But you know, it's an iconic movie. I guess it's going to be an all-time favorite. So you know, it's pretty neat that it's 20-year anniversary. But you know, they never did make a sequel, so maybe it was just so good the first time they didn't have to redo it.
Vega needs a microphone, then we'll go back to Utter, and then I think I see Tom Bowles. Annette, over here, let's go to Vega first.
Hey, Kyle. Just wanted to ask you about the structure of the team, JGR, and there seems to be, I guess, the perception out there that Denny has emerged as the leader of this team, but, you know, you've won several races yourself coming into this team. Are you okay with that, or do you feel like you're a leader as well of this team?
Doesn't bother me either way. I'm just here to race and do what I need to do for the 18 team and try to win the championship. I know all the guys on my team and most of JGR feel like the 18 team is the core team of Joe Gibbs Racing, but you know, that's nothing to me. I mean, I just go out there and if I was in the 11, I'd be driving the same way. It doesn't really matter. So to me, anybody can be the team leader. as far as I'm concerned, and that if Denny wants that role, more pressure to him.